Well, it is February 19th. It's Friday. Um, the lead I gave in Columbus last night, it went well enough. I did my part. I showed up and I talked. Mm, I found it difficult. For some reason, it's like, I can talk for a long time, but I guess I just had so much to say that I couldn't condense. I was condensing everything because I knew I had to condense an entire, lifetime into a certain amount of time. So I was like, I, I over condensed. I only ended up with about 35 minutes, and there are still 15 minutes left. And so it's like, well, I kind of got to the end, and I was like, there's still time. I was trying to like dive and duck back in to different places to expand on things that I just kind of glossed over the first time through. And because I didn't want to get stuck on any certain period. I just wanted to, touch and go. So, but, got it done. And, I was glad to, I didn't postpone, or I'm really glad it didn't cancel because of weather or something. Because it was cold and it was snowy. Um, and, it made it so there were less people there, you know, so that helped for me. But it was broadcast over Zoom, and I didn't know about that in advance, and that kind of threw me off, being, broadcast without my permission, you know. But I just accepted it, and it's like, all right, well, whatever. And I guess the other thing, um, oh shoot, I remembered, now I forgot again. Dang it. Oh yeah, so this morning I saw a post that said that it was from yesterday, that mentioned that yesterday, the day I was giving my lead, um, was global or national Asperger's Awareness Day or something. International Awareness of Asperger's Day or whatever. And I was like, okay. And, and as part of my lead, I was kind of, leaning into and hinting at a lot of my difficulties with addiction and, becoming and relying on alcohol as my coping strategy, um, coming from my difficulties um, and lack of diagnosis of my autism, you know, you know, not that it might have made a difference or who knows, but it, more resources could have been. I don't know. It's I got the life I got, but I was kind of hinting at it a lot. Anybody that knew anything about autism or had a family member or knew anything, be like, oh, there's more to this one. But I don't think anybody really noticed. Might have been one person that kind of gleaned a little bit of extra stuff out of it. But I really, the whole not liking, um, I mean, I understand folding the diagnosis of Asperger's or syndrome into the mild autism spectrum disorder. Just just folding it in, just folding it in, because it's a spectrum. That makes sense. I'm okay with that. I'm, as soon as I caught wind, you know, a year ago, you know, having just started to become consciously registering and integrating it into my active and also what's it called? Incorporating it into my active profile, like letting myself be. And then all of a sudden, then the diagnosis that I got, it's like, oh, well, we don't use that anymore. Or it's really, really frowned on. And it's, it's for it can be, it's a sensitive thing, I guess, whenever it deals with Nazis, and how, I didn't even know until I was reading some of the posts yesterday about it, because people were against the National Asperger's Day, or Awareness Day, being February 18th. Not that the day had anything to do with it, but it was an Asperger's Day or something. Because apparently Asperger's was the name or the term that the Germans gave the type of autistic individuals that were worth saving or worth kept around because they were useful. They had skills and ways to do things or something that made them more valuable. And if you weren't classified as Asperger's, then you were, disposed of, just like everybody else that didn't fit whatever the Third Reich or Nazi Party deemed worthwhile. You might as well just, and a lot of people that were undesirables, were been forced sterilization, and other things too, but it wasn't that long ago all this was going on. So anyway, it's kind of scary that we sometimes kind of get kind of like, oh, okay, we're heading back that direction again. So I don't know, but I just stopped using the Asperger's myself, the term, and I just call it, being autistic, having autism, not having, just being autistic. That's easiest for me. And enjoying my own autisticity. I haven't figured out how to say that word. Autisticity? It's hard. I'll work on it. Owning it. I can own that because it's part of me. I don't have to do anything extra. I just am. Without extra input from me, I just am. Without having to do anything. The only thing I can probably maybe remember how to do is how to pretend, how to act like how other people are, or how I think other people are, which comes off even worse because I don't do that well because I'm imitating what I think other, and it's like I don't perceive well how other people are and how they do things and how they talk. So when I try to pretend to be like other people, it just comes off as fake. At least that's my own analysis of my own, how I look. I don't know. But, and I wrote about it briefly last night about how I did a good enough job that I fulfilled my commitment, my own sense of, honor. And, but hopefully, and I'm really glad. I was like, I didn't take up enough time. Maybe that was a good thing for some people. It's like, dang it. But I'm hoping I did a bad enough job where it's like, well, don't ask him to do it. He'll talk about this and he'll talk about that. Because I didn't, I didn't go into any great devout or revelational or I didn't praise or pray or claim to have seen anything divine. Or some people go into weird stories, and maybe it's true for them. Maybe that's what they think. I only know what happened for me, and so like a lot of my story might be a little bit ooh, but no one can say anything about it because it's my story. It's what is real to me. But I didn't really, go too deep into it. Don't need to scare anybody. I scare them enough with how visceral and a little bit aggressive at times. To really press some of those messages home. So if you haven't found what I found, you'll find it eventually, if you live. And then you might not want to be alive. It's like, I'm not going to say it. So I did get out of there as soon as I could, and made it to work this morning. And I don't know if this has direct relation, and we'll see. I was asked if I'd be interested in working a different shift, because I've always had problems with dealing with customers and being around when it's crowded, and because I get stressed out, and I just don't know. I just never will be good at it. So I was offered if I was interested working a different shift, so I'd be there more overnight, early, not like 4 a.m. or 5 a.m. early, more like midnight or 1 a.m. early. So, and then, till like 8:30 or 9:30, that'd be the end of my shift. So I don't even know how that would, it would just be shifting my entire schedule 4 hours backwards. So I told him I'd think about it. And so I'm thinking about it. But I also did check to make sure. It's like, if I do accept this and I just find out that it doesn't work or I don't like it, can I? And he was just, yeah, nothing's written, nothing's set in stone. Because I'm kind of thinking that they think it'll be good for me because it does give me kind of what I want. And it will give me the freedom of movement that I need to get what I need to get done the way I like to get it done. Because there won't be customers around or other employees around to distract me by trying to talk to me. But what they won't like is, all the stuff that I do that no one knows what I do, that I just do by rote, out of habit, and I'm just doing it all throughout my entire shift up until I leave, and up till 1:30 on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, up till 12:30 on Tuesday, Wednesday, and all those little touches to organize and get things looking nice, just as I pass by, just little touches. And so, like, if I work like a 1 a.m. to 9:30, as soon as 9:30 a.m. hits, I'm gone. And customers, just whatever they do to, mess things up, take things down, lay them down, put them over here, flip things over, turn them upside down, that's just going to stay until I get back. It's just going to accumulate how bad it looks throughout the rest of the day, unless somebody else behind me, and maybe that's the plan. But usually it's not the plan. Usually things just sit until I come back. So, and the other thing I thought about was how tonight it's supposed to get down to about 8 Fahrenheit. I have no idea what that is in Celsius. But the long-term forecast, at least for like the next 7 to 10 days, tonight will be the last really cold night, below, in the single digits Fahrenheit. So hopefully this is the last cold night of this winter. And then, because we're getting in towards the mid-late February. And, sun's days are getting longer. And so I'm looking forward to longer days, longer days, and warmer low temperatures. Just even lows in the 20s would be warm, So we're heading that direction, and I'm sure we'll have another dip or two, but I don't think we'll get back into the single digits, and definitely not below zero, again. Fahrenheit below zero. And I guess that's my life. That's all I really have to talk about. Nothing much going on anywhere else. So it's kind of boring. But I have my own little adventures and my own little things that I do to make life worth living. And try to make it a little bit more like life worth sharing, but I don't know. I try, but who knows? It seems like a lot of what I do just vanishes into smoke and goes nowhere. But I like to think it's all good practice. Practice for me towards some unknown vision that I've yet to realize. That because nothing goes to waste. It might just go unrealized. And whatever it is I'm working on, it does have a practical or emotional connotation that just I haven't it hasn't processed yet. So, oh, and the other thing that I realized when I was up there giving that speech, lead, testimony, whatever you want to call it, telling my story of what it was like, what happened, and what it's like now, like sharing my strength, experience, and hope in recovering an addiction from the disease of alcoholism, that hopeless state of mind, and incomprehensible demoralization, and the four horsemen of addiction, terror, bewilderment, frustration, and despair. All that stuff. Fun stuff. Was I didn't feel really connected. I just don't have, maybe it was just missing last night, but I don't have the passion or the fire for, Alcoholics Anonymous. I don't know if I ever did. Maybe I just pretended I did. I don't know. But a lot of people, they devote their lives to it. And, it's a crusade. It's a campaign. And I just don't know. I just don't think it's like I support, but I don't believe I need to or want to give the rest of my life to, because they would want me to. I'm more than welcome to. It is a way of life, and I will continue to live it, but not the way they want me to, because I am wanted, but I'm wanted to, be a certain way, live a certain way, be grateful a certain way. It's like, and believe a certain way. It's like I'm not even allowed to, it's like, so maybe it's all part of the process. But I do feel a little bit disillusioned and disenfranchised, disheartened, and discouraged. It feels like I've invested. I've gotten out of it what I've invested into it. It's been a fair exchange, and but it just feels like a lot of people that are coming in, and maybe that's how it's always been, but I'm just noticing it more. Or I don't know, maybe it's something to do with the pandemic. Is people want that easy button. People want other people to do do it for them. They want it done. They want to have a better life, but they want other people to do it for them and to hand them the answers. And then if it doesn't work, then they have someone to blame. So I don't know. It's complicated. I mean, it seems like I do, the autistic people that I've come across, or the people on the spectrum, it's like I seem to connect pretty well with them. It's like we already have an established rapport. Um, you know, the ones I suspect, they might not even know, and I might be wrong too. And it's not up to me to let them know. But it's like they really identify with me and my story. So it's like if they, chances are excellent because I'm identifying with them and their story. And if they're identifying with me, then, and if they don't know it, then it's not my job to tell them. And I don't know. But I can share, you know, like my diagnosis, and because it is part of my story. But it wasn't part of my lead. I didn't mention that. Of course, I just kind of glossed over a bunch of stuff because I was worried about, you know, because there's a lot to talk about. It's like right here, I've already just, you know, talked for over half the time as what I was giving that lead down there last night. Of course, down there I was at a podium on an elevated stage with a microphone, and I had a mask on. And it was, you know, people were staring at me. I was on a camera that was like, you know, on Zoom, and oh, and I was literally, it wasn't even a warm room, but I was sweating. I was just so, but it's done. And it's like, and tonight, you know, it's like, I'm not going to say a thing. I'm not going to take any credit. I'm not going to mention it. Anybody that, you know, it's like, yep, no, but no one, there's different fellowships, you know, the one down there is, there's no one down there that comes up here. So, and no one from up here was down there. So there's no communication. So there's, chances are excellent that no one even knows. And I didn't even mention it to anybody around here. So, or wait, nope, I mentioned it. Never mind. But no one went. You know, that's how interested people are. And people have their lives. I can't blame them. To each their own. Live and let live. You know, we all have our special interests. There's nothing wrong with that. But the flag I wave, the banner I carry, it's like, I'm kind of leaning towards what I know better. And it's like, you know, I know more about, you know, autism and addiction than I know about, you know, it's all mixed. It's all related. So I'm working on it. I haven't made any decision of any kind, and no, I haven't made it like a final determination or a judgment call. It's just working in the background. I haven't decided yet. But for now, I'll just keep doing what I'm doing. And I might do that for a while, you know, because until things get, you know, apparently I'm doing okay. So, I mean, I'm not happy, but when have I ever been happy? I don't think I've ever been happy. No, I mean, brief moments. I mean, brief, you know, times, you know, but for the most part, or I don't know. I'm probably unintentionally and accidentally happier than a lot of people, and I just don't even realize it because of all the problems and all the stuff that I don't have going on. I don't have weighing on me because I've gotten free of it, or never was part of it in the first place, or never had it to get over. So it's like I don't have all these other things. You know, all I have to really worry about is myself. So it's like this whole schedule change thing. It's not like I have to check with anybody and see, oh, this is going to work out with this schedule and that's. I only have to check with me. And it's like, am I okay with it? Well, I don't know. That's why I was like, can I try it out? And it's like, how will it affect my meetings? I mean, my sleep schedule is already messed up. So it's like, it's been messed up for years, and even before that, so I don't really care about my sleep schedule. And the meeting schedule, it's like, phew, I've already just kind of been kind of non-committal. It's like a home group, but every other meeting, it's like, I don't have to be there. And I don't mean to entirely disappear, but my own sanity, peace of mind, and sobriety is not a condition of being seen at meetings. It's not contingent on other people knowing about how it is I am and what it is I'm doing, because I'm going to continue to be how it is I am and continue to do what it is I do, regardless of what anybody else knows or doesn't know. So, and that's not to be mean. And it's not because I don't care. It's just because that's how it is for me. So, it sounds mean, but I have distanced myself from quite a few people, and it's like right now, it's like there is a divide and a barrier that I've just kind of thrown up, and it's like I don't think anybody can cross it right now, and no one's tried. So I'm just kind of in a protective mode right now, because I feel a little bit assaulted by just so many different things come, from different, and it's just like, and it's like every day it's like, okay, what do people need from me today? What are people expecting from me today? And it's like, and I just, kind of go numb a little bit. And it's like I get back here by myself and I start to feel better. And it's only when it's like no one's looking at me, no one's got eyes on me, no one's listening to me, no one's, it's like, no one's expecting anything of me. I don't have to perform. There's no song and dance, there's no show. Anyway. I'm not really good at, being human, really. I try. But anyway. I should probably go take a shower and take a nap. And wander down to the 7 o'clock meeting. So, anyway. This has been fun. I enjoyed it. Thank you for being here. Yeah, well, this just goes off into the pile of, videos that are just gonna keep accumulating. Jeez. What a mess. Anyway.